Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina and this is I am going to do the original tag, another original tag by Jim's Books Reading and Stuff. It is the A tag. The first prompt is A is for America. What do you consider the great American novel? I've heard this thrown around a bunch of times. I never agree with the books that are thrown around. Many of the older ones leave out entire swaths of people. I don't know if they're, maybe if someone wrote a book where they were on some grand road trip where they come in contact with multiple races, cultures, ethnic pockets, subcultures. That I think would be the best way to do the great American novel of today. I think one coming from my perspective would probably be something like The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. I think a lot of times when you deal with Black people and or any other kind of minority, it automatically brings in more of America because we don't normally get to be insular. A lot of our lives are impacted by the majority and how we interact with other people of color and just how America, the concept, kind of impacts us. The second prompt is A is for arc. Which character in literature has the most interesting character arc? And because Jim himself used a Game of Thrones character, and I sometimes shy away from using Game of Thrones because I don't know why, but I absolutely love that series and I could talk about it for days. And I would say Catelyn Stark has one of the most interesting arcs in literature. She starts off as this wonderful mother. It's been the longest summer in known history. Everything's nice and wonderful, and then all hell breaks loose and she ends up, making some decisions that come back to haunt her. And in the end, she ends up basically this angry zombie. So, like, literally a zombie. This vengeful zombie. Like, her anger is what's animating her in the end. And so that's a pretty terrible arc, but it is a pretty, drastic one. 3 is A is for Australia. What was the last book you read by an Australian author? Is 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. She's best known right now for Big Little Lies. The TV show on HBO was a runaway hit, but she is a prolific writer, and I love how she writes, mommy drama, domestic drama. I like the voices that each person has, and I like rich people drama. That's an escape. Number 4, the prompt is A is for Austen. What do you plan to read for #Jane Austen July? I wasn't planning on reading Jane Austen this year. I want to get to Anna Karenina probably in the winter. That was the classic that I was going to try to hit this year. That was way outside of my comfort zone. July is a super busy time for my family. It is my anniversary, my youngest birthday, and we're going on a massive family vacation. All of my adult children are coming, and we're all going to spend 7 days on vacation. And so I don't think a lot of reading will be getting done during that week. I would just be soaking in family time, my number one favorite thing, hugging up on my big babies that all have lives and jobs and spouses and boyfriends and all that stuff. So that's going to be July for me. But I'm interested in, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Sanditon. It's the last completed novel by Jane Austen. And the reason why is because right after Bridgerton, when I binged that, and I was just like, what am I going to do now? And
what the hell we gonna do now?
I was like, I'm not really interested in reading the Bridgerton books because I watched a whole bunch of reviews of people who have read the books before, and their comparison, and I decided that I'm not really interested in the books. I'll just watch the show. I like the way the show is more so than how the books have been described. But someone said watch the TV show Sanditon because it also has a multicultural, what's the word? It's a multicultural version of this book. So I was like, maybe I'll look into that. So it might be cool to listen to that or read that before watching that show. I don't know. Can't promise it for this year. Number 5 is A is for automobile. What is your favorite literary automobile? I have no interest in cars. So the only thing I could think of is because I like Stephen King and I've read the book, I'll just say Christine. I can't even think of another literary automobile. A is for anonymous. What is your favorite book or poem published anonymously? Now, I'm not going to say this is a favorite, but it's just the one that I could think of. Primary Colors by Anonymous was a book that came out in 1996. That's the only one that I can think of that I've read that was anonymous at the time that it came out. We now know it was by a columnist. 7 is A is for autobiography. What was the last autobiography you read? I'm going to cheat a little bit on this one because I don't normally read autobiographies, and the last pure autobiography I read was probably Malcolm X's. But recently I read Hood Feminism, Notes from the Women That a Movement Forgot, that by Mickey Kendall. And she tells her life story in the framework of talking about feminism in the way that it intersects with, poor women, women of color, women that just don't fit, and she talks about, if you're really going to talk about true feminism, we need to address poverty, we need to address violence against women, we need to address all these different things. And she talks about her life from, childhood until now, within the framework of talking about hood feminism. And the last prompt, number 8, is A is for audiobooks. Do you consider listening to an audiobook as reading? And Jim himself said that he feels like listening to audiobooks is cheating. And so a lot of people think that, but I do not. I do the bulk of my reading through audiobooks. That's the only way I'd be able to read as much as I do. I think that saying, taking audiobooks away would take it away from, someone who can't hold a book up, or maybe a blind person, or someone whose eyesight is failing them, or just someone who loves to hear a story or processes things differently. I get a lot more reading done because I can listen while I'm doing things, and then I'll, sit down and read with my eyeballs at night. So yes, I absolutely think that audiobook is reading. Oral storytelling came before we even had words, so I think it's the original reading, the original storytelling. So that is the tag. Anyone who wants to do the tag can do so. I will put the questions down in the comment box. So let's just leave this emoji. If you get to the end of this video, be easy on yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.